Well, welcome to the 5-Day Social Media Fitness Challenge. It's day one, and I'm your host, Avital Eidenbaum. I'm so excited you're joining me, and I hope you join me for each day of the 5-Day Challenge. What I'm going to be doing for the first day of the 5-Day Challenge is something you've never seen before. I'm going to be covering all 6 of the major social media platforms: Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, and YouTube, like a workout. That's right, a 12-minute workout broken up into each of the 6 social platforms, spending 2 minutes on each platform, and the key highlights on what you need to do in order to optimize and integrate that platform. Be sure to download the Social Media Fitness Workbook below so you can follow along and make notes as we go through each platform. So are you ready to work? Before we begin, you might be wondering to yourself, okay, do I really need to optimize my social platforms? Does it really matter? Well, let me ask you a question. Have you ever noticed storefronts which display their products in the window? What's the point of displaying these products if people don't really go into the store to purchase that specific product? The point is to get them into the store. And when they get in the door, what do they see? Nice professional displays of products, so it's easy for customers to find what they want and to create a visual connection to the brand. See, visual representation makes the first impression with your customer. And if visual representation is key in a storefront to connect with customers, so too should a visual attraction apply to the representation of your businesses on social platforms. So now when you ask, is social media optimization really important? We can understand why the answer is absolutely yes. So if you're ready, let's get started in our 12-minute workout. We're starting with Facebook. Are you ready? Let's begin. Let's start with Facebook. Now, a Facebook profile and a Facebook page are two completely different things. Facebook requires a person have a profile and a business have a Facebook page linked to a personal profile. So have that in mind when creating your Facebook page. Now, your cover image needs to measure 851 by 315 pixels. They do allow text and now allow a call to action to be displayed on your cover image. So have that in mind when you create a cover image that's a clear representation of your brand. Your profile image should measure 180 by 180 pixels. So a logo is great, or if your face is your brand, a professional headshot would work too. The description limit located in the bottom of the page is a 155 character limit. So have a short elevator pitch with a great call to action like a link to your website. Now for the Facebook real estate. You want to be sure to have a light gate, such as with lead pages or a constant contact offer to encourage people to like your page in exchange for something, like a free download. You also want to be sure to include social links. Now, WooBox makes it easier for you to add a Pinterest, Twitter, and YouTube tab to your Facebook page, like I have here. And the Google Plus tab can be found within your Facebook apps. You also want to be sure to include an opt-in to give your Facebook fans an opportunity to connect with you while at the same time growing your list. Now for the Facebook About section, and we only have about 20 seconds left on Facebook. So your About section, the short description's at the top, and then you have your link shown below. Now I do believe Facebook has a character limit now for all the links. I was able to include all my social platforms in the links, but another great thing to add in your About section is your highlights, because they will look great in your timeline, and it's easy for your fans to find them throughout your timeline. Now let's go on to Google+. Your Google+ obviously is integrated with your YouTube, so Google+ comments can come from your YouTube pages as well. And the cover image for your Google+ page should measure 2120 by 1192 pixels. The logo should be 160 pixels, and it does circulate on the page, so for looking at mine, you can see the text is a little cropped off. So have that in mind when creating your logo. You also want to be sure to verify your website if you want your website URL to display on your page like mine is. So be sure to verify your website. It's a very similar process to your Pinterest process if you want to do that. Now for the description links. This is the About section of your Google Plus page, and if you scroll down, you have a lot of opportunity to give a lot of history to your business. And if you scroll down to the links, you can get a unique Google Plus URL, which I strongly recommend you get one. Obviously, if your website is verified, your URL will display there, and the YouTube is a given because YouTube and Google Plus are connected. But you can add your other links, any links that you have, if you have a meetup group, your other social platforms, a specific blog, there's a lot of opportunity to include links on your Google Plus section. Hangouts are a great thing too that Google Plus is known for. It allows people to connect with each other online, and Google Plus Local is something I strongly recommend you take advantage of. If you are a business, you want to be sure to get your business listed on Google Places if you want to be found in local Google searches. Now we need to go on to LinkedIn. So your LinkedIn profile needs to be a little bit different. Your headshot should measure 167 by 167 pixels. And it needs to be professional. Avoid using pictures that are of your entire body so it's hard to see your face. And you also want to use a profile picture that doesn't look unprofessional. Your headline, you have 120 characters to describe who you are, what you do, and how you help people. And don't sound boring. I used my elevator pitch in my headline to help me stand out above the noise. Now for your LinkedIn summary. You have 2,000 characters to describe and highlight your skills. One thing I recommend is that you want to avoid bragging or self-promotion. And if you are looking for a job and desperately seeking one, don't sound desperate in your summary. Highlight your skills and what value you have. Now to talk about your connections. It's strongly recommended that you have 500 plus connections on your LinkedIn profile. If you're struggling to make connections, one thing I recommend is joining groups similar to your interests and skills. Participate in group discussions and comment on discussions and questions people have. When you engage with people in these discussions, and if they like your comment or engage with you, connect with them. When you're connected to people in groups, you don't need their email address in order to send a connection. Other ideas you have is Facebook groups. If you're a part of a Facebook group that's a business-related group, instead of sending them a friend request, consider connecting with them on LinkedIn instead. And getting recommendations and testimonials, once you start offering recommendations and testimonials to other businesses that are worthy of it, they'll return the favor. And now we need to move on to Pinterest. Now your Pinterest profile needs to measure 165 by 165 pixels, so it's great to have a logo for your profile picture. And your character limit is limited to 160 characters, so it's a little similar to your Facebook, but you won't be able to include a URL. I do, however, strongly recommend that you verify your website in order for your website URL to display on your Pinterest profile. The steps are very similar to how to verify your website on Google+, and Pinterest provides you directions to do so. Now let's talk about your boards and your pins. It's recommended that you start with at least 10 boards and 5 pins. That way, it fills up your screen when your visitors visit your profile. Now you might be thinking, okay, where am I going to find all these pins to upload? And it's really easy to add pins to your Pinterest profile. YouTube makes it easy to pin videos on whatever board you want. Blogs often include a Pinterest social sharing profile. And it's also recommended to add a pin it button to your browser. That way, any website you're visiting, you can easily pin images from it straight to your boards. So make it easy and add a pin it button to your browser. And if you're looking to create followers, consider sharing boards with other businesses that complement your services. When you share boards with other Pinterest users, you're exposing yourself to their fans and followers, and your fans and followers are being exposed to them. So it helps businesses help each other by sharing Pinterest boards, especially if they complement each other. Let's give an example, like a woman that sells hair pieces would complement very well with a woman that sells jewelry. So sharing a board would help each business out. Now we move on to Twitter. The Twitter header image needs to measure 520 by 260 pixels. Your background image measures 1280 by 1024, but it does crop to 1280 by 416. That's what's visible. That's what worked for me. Your description should be about yourself and match your elevator pitch or your brand, and you have 160 characters or less to describe yourself on your Twitter profile. It's easy to add your URL, but be careful when using the black overlay versus the white overlay. You don't want the overlay to clash with your image. You want it to complement, and so sometimes you may need to change your black or white overlay. Now for using hashtags, which Twitter is known for. Using hashtags or searching for hashtags is a great way to find related content to give you content to tweet about. Your tweets are limited, however, to 117 characters if you have a tweet or retweet anything that is included with a URL in it. So have that in mind when creating your tweets. Now let's go on to our lists. There's a lot of benefits of having lists on Twitter. There's lists that you can create that are private, that no one else will see and is not public. And this way you can track your competitors without having to follow them by adding them to a private list that you create in your Twitter account. Other benefits of having a list or following other public lists is that you can find people related in your field or similar. And this can give you great content ideas or tweetable quotes that you can easily use for your own tweets. Now your YouTube channel is obviously integrated with your Google+, which means that if people post on your YouTube video, it can show up on their Google+ profile. So if you comment on other people's videos, your comments can show up on your own Google+ page. Something to have in mind if you want to help build your credibility and make connections. But there is a discrepancy with the YouTube channel art. In order to upload any image to your YouTube channel, it needs to measure 2120 by 1192 pixels. But only 1546 by 423 is shown in order for the image to be displayed properly on a desktop or mobile device. So the area you have to work with is the 1546 by 423. That's what's going to show on your page or on any mobile device. But the original size for the image needs to be 2120 by 1192. Now let's talk about your channel navigation. You want to be sure to set up a YouTube channel as opposed to using your YouTube personal profile to host all your videos. Just hover over your cover image to edit the cover image art or any of the links, and remember to include all your social links so they'll be displayed on your cover image. Now let's talk about trailer and monetization. Add a trailer to your YouTube page similar to what I've done. It should highlight what your channel is about and should include a call to action like encouraging viewers to subscribe to your channel. YouTube recommends a 30-second like commercial for your trailer. And be sure to monetize your YouTube channel. In order to do that, you need to verify your website and then enable monetization. By doing this, YouTube allows you to embed annotation links in your videos so you can link people to your site within your videos. Our time is up! Thank you so much for joining me for this workout. We just spent 12 minutes covering all 6 of the social media platforms with highlights, descriptions, and now you should have calls to action for yourself as far as what you need to do to optimize your social media presence. Are there still platforms you need to create a profile for? Or now do you have an idea of how you can optimize your presence or increase your followers and likes? Based on what we've covered, what are some actions that you can take? Can you really handle it solo, or do you need help from a trainer? Whatever it is, make it a goal you can realistically accomplish. I hope you enjoyed day one's workout of the Social Media Fitness Gym's 5-day challenge. Be sure to tune in for day two, where I uncovered the secret data that lies in your Facebook page's insights and the secret information lying within your Facebook graph search. If you enjoyed this video, and I certainly hope you did, be sure to leave a comment below, and it would mean the world to me if you would pass this video along to your friends. Thank you so much for joining me for the Social Media Fitness Challenge Day 1. Hope to see you back here for Day 2. I'm Avital Eidenbaum. Thank you so much for joining me.